Yeah, there's none of that in this movie.
I don't know, man. If I have one more bad day at work, I don't know. I think I might do something terrible. I think I might. Slash out.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Slash Out Reviews, where I talk all things horror, but I have a special taste for the slashers. And yeah, you're right. If this were a horror movie, I would be the prime suspect. Now today we're going to be talking about In a Violent Nature. Now I was really excited when I first heard about this movie coming out, because with all the issues going on with the Friday the 13th franchise, I really needed something that'll hold me over. And when I saw this film, it really helped. Now, this slow-walking, zombie-like serial killer gave some of the most goriest kills I've seen. Now, if you're a little whore for gore like me, this movie's for you. This movie really felt more like a fan service to me to those who love the slasher subgenre. And if you're one of those that haven't, ever really been a fan of horror movies and you're looking to get into it, this might not be one of those gateway movies for you. Now, In a Violent Nature does sort of feel like it's been ripped out of a Friday the 13th script. But it still is its own movie. And instead of following the camp counselors, we get to follow the killer. Pretty much every step of the way. And by every step, I do mean every step of the way. So the film opens up to this really nice still shot of this torn down fire tower. And we see this pole sticking out from the ground. And there's a locket hanging from it. Which later in the film we find out this locket is the only thing that's keeping Johnny, who's our killer, at rest. These young guys just kind of going through the woods. One of them steals it, and it pretty much resurrects Johnny, and he goes on a rampage to find this locket, and he'll kill anything and everything in his way to get it. The way this film is shot and all the camera angles are pretty cool. So we get to see an over-the-shoulder shot of Johnny as he's walking through the woods and he's choosing his victims, and it does kind of play out like a video game to me. Now let's get to Johnny's mask and his choice of weapons. Because if you want to make an iconic slasher movie, those are the two most important things. What the killer wears and what he kills with. And in this movie, we get to see Johnny dragging this newly killed body through the woods, and he stops at this park ranger's office. He throws the dead body through the window, breaks into the office. He finds this vintage firefighter helmet. He puts it on. He takes an axe and a drag hook. Now, as if this movie couldn't be any more like Friday the 13th, we get to see him do a Jason-style kill, walking into the water, and he pulls this woman under and kills her in the water. And that brings us to my favorite kill of the movie. It involves this woman who's doing yoga. He walks up behind her. She notices him. She screams. She turns around and realizes she has nowhere to go. There's a cliff right there. So she pretty much just stops and accepts her fate. And then he punches through her stomach. He hooks one of his hooks into her head and pulls the chain through the hole in her body, pulls her head through, and pretty much just flattens her out. That was one of the most goriest kills I've ever seen. Now we can talk about some of the characters. These characters were the most boring characters I've ever seen in a horror movie. I pretty much forgot their names as soon as they went off screen and they were killed off. But honestly, being truthful, from the trailers, I didn't really expect any good character development. And I wasn't really going for it anyways. I just wanted to get my gore on, you know what I mean? Now, In a Violent Nature runs for an hour and 34 minutes, but in my opinion, they could have cut out at least 20 of that. It's one of the most boring endings I've ever seen. We just get to see what I would guess you could call it our final girl running through the woods for about 15 minutes. And she doesn't know where to go. She's losing her mind. She finally gets picked up by someone who gives one of the most boring speeches I've ever heard in my life. And I know it really helped explain the story, but it was just really boring and it kind of threw me out of the movie. Now I know there is a sequel planned to this, and I will be there to watch it. I'm excited for it. I hope they follow through with it. But I do also hope there's some character development in the next one, and there's no boring expositions or anything, I will be here for it. I will go ahead and give In a Violent Nature a My Mom and Dad Are Gonna Be So Mad at Me review, which is my 4 out of 5. It's not quite my Slash Out 5 out of 5 review. You know, like I said, if they take out the last 20 minutes that are boring, this could very well be a 5 out of 5 for me. But I am very excited to see what's next. You know, I want to know what they have planned. I wouldn't mind seeing this play out into a franchise. And like I said, this movie does feel like a game. I really wouldn't even mind this being a video game. I think it'd be really fun. I appreciate you guys tuning in to Slash Out Reviews. Now, if you want to show some support, please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, I will be posting on here weekly, and you can also follow me on my TikTok where I also post weekly. Appreciate you guys. See you next time.
I don't know, man. If I have one more bad day at work, I don't know. I think I might do something terrible. I think I might.
Slash Out.